Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome one and all. Let's see. Fancy, fancy. Thank you for being here first. Hello, Bunny Rose, Helen Marmon, um, Sussex Team Warrior, Connie Bomber. Hey, Connie Bomber. Um, Lydia Washington, CK. Anyway, you guys, I was doing a deep dive into the Sentebale, and well, I wanted to make sure that and listen, I'm not gonna have any like complete determination as to what happened because I still can't be sure. Um, Let me see. Let me get my slides up here. Um, I I I just have to say that um 20 years, that's a long commitment. That's a long commitment for what was Harry, 19 years old, a 19-year-old. And while I can really sympathize with the notion that, well, no, it's not a notion, is the truth. Um, that someone who is a proud African and born in Africa may feel a certain way about um, all things for Africa. And it makes it really tough for someone like Harry, who already is born into a life of privilege. And no matter what happens, no matter where he goes, no matter what he does in life, that is always going to be held against him. That always be held against him, not by everyone, but from some people. And of all people, I was listening to, oh gosh, the professor, and he had some interesting things to say about it. Not really choosing a side or anything like that, not really even saying what happened, but just saying how touchy the situation is because you have a board of directors of all white men, and you have the African woman who, amongst everybody, is probably the best educated. There's not many places she can go where she's probably not the best educated. And the people that are going to suffer the worst are the people that need the money, that needs the programs, that needs the aid and charity. That's what really makes this even worse. But as for Prince Harry, I'm like, I don't see that this will change him as a person because he's committed to the work that he does, right? And I recall saying some time ago that Harry and Meghan are not going to hide behind walls or hide behind um, their what do you call it, their gated community, that they are going to get out and they're going to work and they're going to take chances. And when you're helping people, when you are by nature a humanitarian, and you you have your charitable causes, there will be times when you'll get burned. You will get burned, and there will be power struggles. And it's no different than anyone who goes to a soup kitchen or um, go out in the field and do whatever kind of work. You go to Los Angeles after the fires, you go to the area that was stricken by the fire, and even that can be turned into something suspect by some people. And we just have to really trust and believe in the people that we support. And we have to do our due diligence to make sure that we're not um, giving in to doubt and or speaking out about things that we know nothing about. We have to consider the fact that whether something terrible happened or not, um, if someone makes an accusation, then you have to take it serious. And that's why I was saying yesterday, okay, so this charity is registered in the UK, although the funds are essentially for communities in Botswana and Lesotho. And I'm like, and I'm still like thinking about African parks and what a nightmare that turned into. And with the African parks, okay, people were shouting, Harry needs to resign. And in this instance, Harry resigns, and that's a problem. As they say, you can't win for losing, can you? So I I don't have that um that pit in my stomach kind of feeling about this because I believe that Harry believed in this charity. This is like his first big anything as an adult, as a prince. This is something that was like the start of things. And then, of course, he went on to the Invictus Games and also Travelers. There's Travelers. And so I'm just like, okay, those are two really big things. And as far as I know, Travelers is a not for profit. I believe it's a not for profit. And of course, the Invictus Games, that's not a not for profit to the best of my recollection. And I'm just like, are we going to be visiting this again with either one of those? I'm sure there's a lot of people that are malicious and hateful and would hope so. Anyway, before I get started, I'm just going to slide through and just take a look at some of your comments here. Oh, what do we have here? Uh, Crouching Chicken Hidden Egg became a new member. Well, congratulations and thank you so much for that. Really, really do appreciate that. And thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Okay. All right. I guess, Joan Garcia says, Baron, not to be negative, but this reeks to me. Well, I mean, it's not being negative. It's how you feel, right? It's how you feel. So there's nothing negative about it. Um, it's one of those touchy things that I'm sure most people would not like to bother with at this time because, we're supposed to be enjoying this moment with the as ever and with love. And then, of course, like right now, it's just like you got to kind of pump the brakes and beware of the object in the middle of the road. But thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. Wow, you guys have a lot of comments. Miss S says Harry is not the one who resigned. Uh, Prince say so. Also, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not the one. Oh, you know what? Maybe if I stop it, there we go. It's not the one who resigned. Prince say so also resigned. Oh, I'm sorry. You said not the only one. Okay, sorry about that. I had to stop it. Um, Also resigned, but the trolls are sending all the heat Harry's way. Yeah, and it's because of Harry's, for lack of a better word, Harry's um, profile, his celebrity, that he's able to um, raised money in the way that he has. I mean, let's face it, if Harry's personality, the weight of his personality, that is one of the advantages in life, just one of them. Let's say it's a God given talent. Number two, he has a platform because he is a prince of the realm. He is Prince Harry. So that's also in his favor. And of course, what's the other one? And then he's hardworking. He's hardworking. Whatever he lacks in formal education, he is very detail orientated and he is tenacious and he will push and push and push until he can get what he is hoping for when it comes to humanitarian philanthropy and such. He is, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going. He will talk to whoever he has to talk to. He will present his case, like with the Invictus games. He had to do a presentation, probably not his strong suit, but just like his mother, um, he had to overcome a lot of anxiety and such to get it done because he was so passionate about the work. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your comment. Uh, 15 minutes of fame whilst children suffer. Similar saga with the Oprah Winfrey Girls School. Oh, yes. Henrietta, I forgot all about the Oprah Winfrey's Girls School. And that is one of those things where, Oprah's thousands of miles away and, it's in Oprah's name. So Oprah gets all the heat um, because of whatever the alleged abuse that took place at the school. She got all the heat for it because, um, and if you guys don't know about Oprah's Girls School, Oprah had, I think she had made a promise to Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was just like, I think she was asking Nelson Mandela, what is it can I do? Or what, she was expressing her feelings about doing something for humanity, doing something for Africa. And so this leadership academy, which was, of course, intended to educate girls, because they say when you educate uh, girls or when you educate women, you uplift the entire community. And so that was Oprah's intention, but no good deed goes unpunished. And all of these things happened. And, you know, um, Oprah had to go back and forth and hire people to, um, clean up this situation. And so these are the things that happen. And so, like today, I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of people of means who we in society have branded them to be just, kind of selfish. But then those are people who do not open themselves up and make themselves vulnerable to things that are outside of their control. So again, it's not to say that something did or did not happen. that someone may or may not be wrong, or that maybe, as they say, two things can be true at the same time. Um, but I will say that Harry is based in California. The charity is registered in the United Kingdom, and the funds are created to help people in what, two other countries in Africa. And as they say, in manufacturing, the more you handle something, the more chance there is for defects. You ever heard that? Now, you may have heard it worded another way, but the more hands that are involved, the more chances there are for defects. The less you handle something, the less opportunity for defects. Uh, Too many cooks, as they say. Too many cooks. So it's better to have, fewer cooks in the kitchen than to have people bumping into each other. So that's another way to look at it. But thank you, Henrietta. I'm gonna read up on that again so I can see how that was resolved. I'd be interested to know. Hi, Sherry Ware. Hey, Legs. Let's see. Antoinette Kennedy says Bear and Harry needs to be mindful of the upcoming Invictus games. I know he will have some. What is that? Mm, Attorneys to take care of this problem. Yeah, it is necessary to lawyer up. It is necessary to lawyer up. Um, a lot of what is happening with Sentebale, or no, I shouldn't say that. I should say that Harry has several jobs, right? He has several positions, and he cannot be everywhere. It was impressive the way that, and I still say, I one of the most impressive feats that I've ever seen Harry um, carry out was the trip to the oh, what was it? I forgot what they called it. It was something week at the United Nations. They called it something week. And anyway, he went from room to room, group to group, dinners and such. And the way he carried himself around all these people and the level of attention that he received. And in spite of all of that, he's not acting, in like some kind of egomaniac or anything like that. He's just introducing himself. He's shaking hands. He's not being dismissive at all. He's looking people in the eye. And there's a lot of people that are jealous about that. People, especially back in Salt Island, that cannot stand the idea that Harry commands so much respect. And I'm thinking about the words because remember, yesterday I read the statement from the doctor twice, and it was so personal. It was so cheeky and snarky. And I'm just like, um, you're in a volunteer position. So you're not being paid, I guess, right? You're volunteering to be in that position. And this is a charity that was founded 20 years ago. It's been going on for 20 years. So I don't know who was in her position before. And I don't know the circumstances in which that person stepped down or left or whatever, but it seems like this what is it? OME, OBE. Now all of a sudden everything seems to be going terribly wrong. There's infighting, accusations. And I was proud to see an African in that position. But as someone said earlier, that um, whatever happens, there's always going to be the stigma of the European, the white person who drops in to do good. And there will always be someone on the other side that is looking upon that person with suspicion. Now, Harry made it very clear that my heart is always in Africa. Africa was the first place where I felt free. And that is compelling. The first place he ever felt free was when he went to Africa. He was not Prince Harry anymore. He was just Harry. He was just there to get away from all of the pain in the UK. And there's all these people that don't even know who he is. These kids are looking at him and, maybe they know he's obviously different for no other reason, but he's white. And also, the other thing that is compelling is that he wants to continue the work that his mother started with HIV and AIDS. So, what does one do? What does one do? As my mother used to say so many times, you make it bad for the next person. Now, you make it really bad for the next person. So, if there is any chance that this is not what it appears to be, um, that this is made up, that this is some kind of malicious act or some malicious accusation. And God, I hope that it is, there's no merit to this at all, but it seems like a lot of egos were involved. But when do you have everybody step down? Everyone leaves so that you can stay, so that we don't have to spend resources from this charity in court. What do you make of that? What do you make of that? Yeah, thank you, Tasha Marshall. Says, I think Harry doesn't want to waste money or time on a court case. I'll be back heading Sentebale. He's waiting for the facts to come out in the open. Yeah. Okay. By the way, thank you for your comment. Now, Esmeralda Dillon says, Baron, she dropped a lot of tabloid language in her statement. She is a lawyer and she goes to the Harry and Meghan. Is that Harry and H&M paper? Um, okay. I think I get what you're saying, but especially the tabloid language. I keep thinking about those words and I'm just like, uh, it's really personal. It really got personal because it seemed as though there was some very pointed words that was not only um, a snarky, cheeky, sarcastic comment toward Harry, but almost like a threat. It's almost like a threat. Anyway, it makes me feel threatened for Harry. And you have to know that once you put a statement out there with that tone, that there's no return. There is no return because it's out there now. Those words are out there. So there's no coming back from that. She said what she said, and you know, and now we have to see how this is going to land. And of course, there is always the court of public opinion. Yes, there's the court of public opinion. And that that is going to be where most of this is fought in the court of public opinion. You know what I'd like to do is I want to try to find that statement from yesterday. I want to go over those words again. If I can find it. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking because I got a whole bunch of stuff to get to. Oh, and by the way, I did find the video. One of the things I was looking for the infamous video from these polo match when there seemed to be a how do I put it? It seemed to be an awkward situation as to where everyone's going to stand. So I did find that. Matter of fact, I got two videos from that. You guys know I save everything, and I I had to go into my archive and look for it, but I did find it. So I will be sharing that with you very soon. Very soon. Um, hmm. That was in the Times. Okay, I will look for it later because I'm not seeing it, and I got a lot to cover. Um, but the tone of it, I'm telling you, it is lingering on the palate. It lingers on the palate. I promise you, it lingers on the palate. And I don't like it. Oh, man. And I had it. Oh, you know what? I think I know where to find it. I know it was from the Times, but I have to get past the paywall. That's what I want to do is get past that paywall. And I got a link that will get me past the paywall if I can find it. And I cannot find it. All right, no matter. Sorry, I'm still here. Okay. I was just looking one more place. I misplaced it. All right, let's get on with it then. I'll try to do something later. Let me see here. So, that was one of the most empowering moments that the Sussexes have had. Not in terms of actual, you know, actions, but just the way they stepped out of that Range Rover or whatever they were driving in, and they gave you Hollywood old money. They gave you aristocrat. They gave you old money. And I forgot who the artist was that created this, but they just drip of elegance. They ooze sophistication, right? This was such a big moment for them that all of the media, every paper, every news outlet, they wanted that image. They wanted this. They wanted this. They couldn't get enough of it. This was everywhere, right? And then, of course, after the polo match, Meghan makes her way to the stage. And there is the photo of Meghan and Team Sentebale. Or what is that? I forgot what their team. I guess whatever team it is, but they were both playing for Sentebale, right? Both teams. And so that's the image that most people have seen. But then there was this. Oh, this was very uncomfortable. Ooh, awkward. Now, as promised, I do have the video. When I tell you I save a lot of stuff, And I have almost given up on trying to organize things, but there's ways to find it based on the date, or you know what I'm saying? There are ways to find it. So I found it. Let me share that with you. And if you hear Church Nelly, hang on to your wig, because here it comes. Now, I don't want to, get you all excited like there's something really huge going on, because really all you can do is just take a second look at it. That's all we're going to do, is take a second look. There's like no hidden anything there. Let me see here. But it just feels different now. You know what I'm saying? It just feels different now. Fudge. How do I get that over there to you? Let me see here. Okay, now I see that. Let me try this. Okay, wait 1 second, you guys. I got this. I just need to. They changed a little something here about a week ago, and I'm still trying to sort it out. Would that make it easier? Let me see. No, it doesn't. Oh, okay, let me try this. Oh, wait. Nope, we don't need that. How did I do that? No, I don't need that. Oh, is that it? Let me see. Oh, okay. All right, here's one. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't seem to be any obvious awkwardness there. But let me show you the other video because that was one, but I do have another. But there doesn't seem to be any like, you know, overwhelming awkwardness. But now take a look at this one.
Such a great day here at Archetypes Polo Club. Again, a big thank you to all of those who provided horses, to the entire crew. I leave you with these pictures. I wish you a very, very indeed. And a cracking goal he scored also in that penultimate field choker. At number 3, ladies and gentlemen, well, I could go on could go on. Putting it in, here's a beautiful trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, put your hands together for Sentebale, Royal Salute, Dana Barnes, the Duke of Sussex, Alberto Cambiasso, and Mr. Mountbatten-Windsor. And of course a big thank you to the Duchess of Sussex for presenting the trophy. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who has been a part, played such a big part in making today happen. Thank you very much, Andrew Tucker. Such a great day here at Archetypes Polo Club. Again, a big thank you to all of those who provided horses, to the entire crew. I leave you with these pictures. I wish you a very, very indeed. And a cracking goal he scored also in that penultimate field choker. At number 3, ladies and gentlemen, well, I could go on could go on.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. And I'm just sitting up here talking. I must have hit the mute button. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Sound. Okay. Don't forget to unmute. I know. Let's see. I want to try to get back to your comments. Let me see. She's just a little too hairy touchy. And Meghan was being nice, but I could feel the get your behind over there. Woo! No, I saw the first video. She looked like she didn't want to engage with Meghan. Okay. She used to being the only black woman in the mix. Got it. Harry and Meghan will deal with this as needed. They are consummate professionals, and as we all know, the truth eventually comes to light. Yes. Lex says, why is she so awkward? She wanted to make sure she was close to Harry each time. Did you notice that? He even scooted out of the way. Well, I'll tell you what, I will put this back on and I'll put the sound down. And while I'm going through these comments, you all can talk about it. Her silly behind should have fell off the stage. Why would you pass Meghan trying to get next to Harry, the idiot? Well, okay, and let's see. Did we already pass that part? I want to see it again. Oh, Henrietta Phillips, thank you so much for the soup sticker. Rosa Roberts, it has been too long. I miss you. Okay, here comes the awkwardness. And it does make sense. Okay, it does make sense that girls in the middle, and I'm going to stay with my husband. Girls in the middle rather, and I'm staying with my husband. So, as you can see, it is very symmetrical in that you have, like right here, you have Meghan in the middle, right? It's kind of a tradition that the wives are in the center. I've seen that with other games, with other people. And so she is interrupting the natural order of things by flanking Harry on the other side when all girls are supposed to be in the middle, right? Well, okay. Okay. Yet Meghan did not let go of Harry and vice versa. Okay. Yep. You know, okay, the 600,000 on a consultation firm. Um, and of course, when there is the court documents, we will find out if there are any other, connections to that firm because exactly how was that firm, considering that's true, how was that firm selected? Oh man. Sherry West says, why would she stand in front of Harry, move over next to Meghan? Why try to get in the middle of husband and wife? Oh, because she's being paid to start some BS. You can't say anything to another black woman or, oh, doesn't that sound like something William plotted for revenge? Well, it does seem rather suspect. It does seem rather suspect. The People's Duchess says, always consider the classiest option first, ladies. Here, here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see. The question should be also, you know what? And okay, okay. Thank you for your comment. This is another thing. If someone within the organization is spending money, right? They have the ability to access funds and they're spending money on things that seem rather questionable. And let's say that person is called out on it. Is that where all of the bad blood started? You know what I'm saying? Was there some action that was taken? And then when the question of oversight was brought up, is that where all the stuff started? Because one thing we know about the power struggle between one party and another party, some of the kindest people in the world can disappoint you. Some people that seem kind, people that seem intelligent, thoughtful, you say, um, I don't think that person would do that. And yet things happen. Like, for instance, I don't want to compare this to a marriage, but for the sake of conversation, when there is a breakdown in the marriage, right? And suddenly, just to make sure that we win, you'll hear one partner say the other partner was abusive in some kind of a way that, let's say, it did not happen. But the point is to win. But then again, it's not a paid position. So it doesn't seem like there would be any way to profit from that position. The only way that you would be able to profit is if there was some outside influence, right? Like someone who wants to break up the marriage or break up this charity, because this charity has been around for 20 years. And it is one of those things where you could say, hey, if I ever make it to heaven and they say, what are you most proud of? Why do you think you deserve to be here? You can list a lot of things and throw in there Sentebale. Maybe some people, figuratively speaking, don't want to see you get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody don't want to see you get there. I'm trying to be careful. So let's keep this going. Now, right there, you see this on the right side. If you don't know what this was, now I shared that video where Harry spoke about his commitment to Africa, and I do believe that I got a copyright for that. Whoever owned that gave me a copyright strike. But I'm going to see if I can play the sound without getting in trouble. But using the video, well, that was a problem.
Africa's in my heart. Africa's in my soul.
Oh. Yes, I do have it. I do have it. Okay. Oh, was it the music in the background?
Africa is.
Oh, no, I added that music.
I first went there when I was 12, 13 years old. And after so many. Africa's in my heart. Africa's in my soul. I first went there when I was 12, 13 years old. And after so many years, I wanted to give back to it because it had given me so much. The vast open space, the cultures, the communities, the people, the wildlife, just the freedom was a huge piece of why I loved Africa so much. And we call it Sentebale. In Sesotho, the local language, it means forget me not. And it's really focused on ensuring that the younger generation are quite literally not forgotten. Both Princeso's mother and my mother had a strong focus on HIV and AIDS, but also of the younger generation, because it's their futures that are being stolen from them. And at the heart of Sentebale, what we've always believed is that every single young person should have a chance at a better future.
Okay.
Africa's in my heart. Africa's in my soul. I first went there when I was 12, 13 years old. And after so many years, I wanted to give back to it because it had given me so much. The vast open space, the cultures, the communities, the people, the wildlife, just the freedom was a huge piece of why I loved Africa so much. And we call it Sentebale. In Sesotho, the local language, it means forget me not. And it's really focused on ensuring that the younger generation are quite literally not forgotten. Both Prince Seso's mother and my mother had a strong focus on HIV and AIDS, but also of the younger generation, because it's their futures that are being stolen from them. And at the heart of Sentebale, what we've always believed is that every single young person should have a chance at a better future.
Okay, there we go. So that was Harry's words about Africa. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Now, Harry, in some way, has been singled out because of the words about privilege, and even though you hate the press, you something, she said. And also, I did not like "This is not a vanity project for me." The thing is, if this gets as ugly as it could get, right? Are we willing to tear down everything to hold that position, right? So if I'm correct, she gets to keep her position because everybody else left. Is that right? Am I understanding that right? That she gets to keep the position because everybody else is gone? Diane Hawkins. Okay. uh you know what they say, it's always those quiet ones, right? It's always those quiet ones. TMCD says, I have also thought something odd with her back then. She could be a planned mole, especially when she was at Earth Flop. Very suspicious. Well, and don't forget, she has one of those trinkets. She has one of those OBEs or whatever. I mean, you guys, there are worse things in this world that you could do, I'm sure. But Order of the British Empire, when you accept those medals, you are accepting an order of the British Empire. You are accepting the order of the British Empire. Let that sink in. It reeks of colonial history, the order of the British Empire. And there have been a lot of people that have turned it down. And I get why some people accept it, because people like to be honored. They like to be awarded. They want to spend the day at Windsor Castle. They want to bring their moms. You know, that's a huge honor. But it means Order of the British Empire. It means everything colonial. The motto is for God and the empire, right? Established in 1917, this award, prominent national or regional achievement. The GBE Knight or Dame Grand Cross. Oh, there's a KBE? Wow. I wonder if I can find a picture of her receiving her medal. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. And so far, I don't see it. Yeah, so far I don't see it. Okay, 1 year ago, this royal fan is actually Dr. Sophie Chandaka, the chair of the Sentebale, Meghan Markle. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, this is a hate account. I'm not going to finish reading that. But the only reason why this person is applauding, oh, all right. Let me see. But they got a video. I'm trying to see. I'm on Reddit right now. That's what I'm looking at is Reddit. Well, I tell you what, she's a high achiever. She she's a very capable person, as evident, right? Lex says Vanity Project. She's been there for what, 1 year? Yeah, 1 year. 1 year, and she's shown us how capable she is in 1 year. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, let's move on. And then, of course, I noticed this photo. It's just like her eyes are glued on that trophy. Her eyes are glued, affixed on that trophy. Why is that so important to you? Do you suppose you get to take it home? I mean, is it yours to keep or what's going on there? It's like she's obsessed with that trophy. Beverly Hardy, thank you so much for being here. Hello to you too. But yeah, what is it about that trophy? Well, you know what, guys, ugh. If we find out uh, if we find out I forgot what I was going to say. All right, let me go to the next slide. So this was the newspaper. This was the Daily Mail. Meghan's photo finish. Meg's the boss. Moment Meghan Markle appears to tell woman to stand next to her instead of Harry at glitzy polo event, forcing her to awkwardly duck under the Prince's Trophy. Okay. Yeah, that was actually pointed out at the time. Leg says, remind you of Kitty and Cow at Queen Elizabeth's funeral, right? Yes, when they were looking at the crown. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, um, they couldn't seem to take their eyes off of it. Okay, what was that? One down, one to go. Oh wait. I got it. Oh, here it is. Here you go, Legs. See how I take care of you? Take a look. One down, one to go. One down, one to go. Or in Sophie's case, Sophie would have to have a mass event if she ever thought she was going to get that. She would, you know, she'd have to take out a lot of people to get that. Oh, yeah. Same flavor. Same flavor. Yep. Seems to be everywhere, don't she? Uh, the assistant. No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that one. Hazel says, what was her process for awarding the consulting contract? Who got it? This will blow up in her face. Well, it is definitely going to be investigated. And one thing we know about the Sussexes is they have very good lawyers. They always have the best legal representation. Yeah, Faith Manzini, that would be the real tragedy because um, this has been very important to Harry. It has been a huge part of his life's work. And it would be such a shame if he had to distance himself from it in any way. That would be a shame. Uh, George Blackie says, good morning, everyone. I must say that you are hitting the nail on the head. That woman is a plant to dismantle the charity and flog it to some party who has motivated the hostile takeover. Okay. It does seem very suspicious. It is very suspicious. And it just goes to show what you can achieve in 1 year. But she has such an outstanding resume. I just really, really hate that this is happening for several reasons. Um, I was always so proud to see her in that position because I do believe that representation is very important. But if this is the cost of trying to do the right thing, as my mother would say, you make it bad for the next person. You make it bad for the next person. So that's just the way it is. So Sentebale was Harry's way to prove he was more than a Playboy prince, as I saw when I visited him. But there were clues things weren't right. This will be a humiliating setback. Rebecca, look at me. I'm almost able to cross my legs English. Now, Rebecca English wrote about something or wrote about this because, as you can see, that was years ago. But just because she had managed to worm her way on the trip with Harry and even get a photo op, she's going to use that. I could see that there were trouble then. No, you couldn't. No, you could not. Because if you saw that there were problems then, you were obliged to write about it. But you did not because there was nothing to see. And then, of course, Maureen, I'm gonna beat your ass, Maureen. She's a damning video of Meghan and Harry charity chief that may point to other simmering tensions in Sentebale row. I'm not gonna let you come between me and my husband if that's what's simmering. How about that? Okay. You know what? You must have been looking at you saw that on the what is that? Uh where does that say? Uh where did I see that? It was a hostile takeover, wasn't it? Oh, okay, here it is. Since qualification, Chandaka has worked on a number of high profile transactions, including the attempted hostile takeover of the London Stock Exchange Group by the Macquarie Group, the acquisition of the Body Shop by L'Oreal, Nike, Inc.'s acquisition of Umbro, and the initial public offering of what is that, Fair Expo, as the first Ukrainian company to be listed on the London Stock Exchange. Mm-mm. Well, you know what? If that is in your resume, it is not exactly a it is not exactly it doesn't mean that there's any guilt, right? But there does seem to be some kind of history there, doesn't it? Let me see. Why are they talking about Meghan in the headline about Harry's charity? They know Meghan gets clicks and now they want to force the hate at Meghan. Didn't they just say they have a professional divorce? Yep. Yep. As I pointed out yesterday. Abby Rosemary says, "Good morning." Oh, you know what? And that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to impact the amount of donations they receive. and not just from the Sussex squad, but from a lot of people. Do you guys remember I used to share links to all of the fundraisers, and then suddenly there was a bunch of infighting between one group of squatties, another, and I was just like, you know what? I cannot do this. I cannot do this. My heart wasn't in it. It was a mess. It was a mess. Around election time, that's when things had gotten so ugly. And then there was like the two different fundraisers. People couldn't agree on what we should fundraise and all of that. It was just a disaster. And that is I'm going to guess is an unintended consequence of this, is that it's going to really impact the fundraising. Mamie Ricks, thank you so much for the super chat and thank you for being here tonight. But it's going to have a terrible impact. Oh, and thank you for being a member, Mamie Ricks. It is going to have a terrible effect, a lasting effect. You're going to see a lot of people just lose interest and walk away. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's if you go to the Wikipedia, it spells it out very clearly. It spells it out very clearly. This is a known person. This is a known person amongst some very powerful people. And they updated the Wikipedia page. In 2008, Chandaka, Chandaka served as trustee for the BLD Foundation. In 2008, Chandaka was appointed to the Board of Trustees of Sentebale, the African children's charity that was established by Prince Seeiso of Lesotho and Prince Harry to help vulnerable children and young people in Lesotho, particularly those who have been orphaned as a result of HIV and AIDS. In 2025, a dispute arose between Chidaka, and the board of trustees around decisions, according to the Times, about focusing the charity's fundraising on Africa. The dispute resulted in a board asking her to resign as chairman. She refused, and the board resigned in protest, which led to Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso resigning as patrons. Chidaka sued the charity and reported it to the Charity Commission, claiming that what caused the conflict was that she had blown the whistle about poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny, misogynoir, and a cover up that ensued in Sentebale. Them some strong words. Them are some strong words. Yep, them are some strong words. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I must say, those are some strong words. If you say it, I guess you better mean it. Wowee. Well, I am just how do they say it? You could have bought my ass for a nickel. Yep, this is a sticky wicket. And what I really hate is that the tabloids are going to have a feeding frenzy. You know that they are going to have a feeding frenzy with this one. Doing what they do best, making up stuff. Okay, thank you, Esmeralda. Sentebale was Harry's way to prove that he was more than a Playboy prince. Oh, it gave her an opportunity to rewrite history, didn't it? She tries to pretend this isn't a vanity project for her. My question is, was the other company's vanity projects? They gave you a way to resign gracefully, but her own hubris got in the way. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, People's Duchess. Yeah, I bet she just as happy. She probably at home right now about to tear the door off the refrigerator. Yeah, she done probably worked up appetite. She probably at home about to tear the door off the refrigerator. Yep, she probably pacing back and forth, about to tear the door off the refrigerator or jump in her car and go to the drive-through. I mean, she done worked up appetite, all this excitement. Hands probably all puffy. Baron, the British royal family can't destroy Prince Harry's love of what is it? Invictus games or show his passport info. He also misses the British skies. So Sentebale is a mean-spirited, hateful attempt to hurt him. God's blessing, Harry and Meghan. Here, here. Thank you very much, Joan Garcia, and thank you for being a member. Yep. There she is, all like a snake, all recoiled and ready to strike. So y'all will see her this weekend waving them big hands left and right, trying to make her point. Yeah. She's gonna be waving her arms left and right like the sails of a tall ship. uh oh well. And of course the papers, charity, bullying storm. Let me see, what's that? Harry embroidered in bullying and misogyny row as he resigns from charity. Well, I tell you what, I don't know who she's accusing of being a bully. Um, but if I was a body language expert, I wouldn't say that she was exactly intimidated by the presence of anyone on the stage. I mean, it all looks very cordial, except for you stand over here. It all looks very cordial. But people did sense that there was some level of awkwardness at the time. But you guys, listen, let's keep one thing in mind. Harry and Meghan are the most popular couple in the world. They are. They are the most popular couple in the world. There's no other couple right now that are getting this level of attention. No Bragdalena, none of that. It is Harry and Meghan. They are at the center of the rom-com world of couples right now. And so of course there are going to be a lot of people that want to write about it and comment about anything to do with them because of their popularity. And it's like every time we complain about fast food, we complain about McDonald's first. When we want to complain about retail, we go after Walmart. We want to complain about uh, just about anything. Whoever's the biggest, they're the target. If you're the most popular, you're the one who's going to get most of the heat. So in some ways, it is a level of success. But with that comes a lot of opportunists that are going to look for ways to tear you down. Now, that does not imply for me that there's anything nefarious going on that I'm saying or pointing out right now. There seems to be some inconsistencies in what people are doing and how they move about this world, but I guess one hostile takeover is as good as the next. We are kind of touchy-feely, aren't we? We are very touchy-feely. Got to touch now. Got to get close. Got to hold the trophy. Got to come between Harry and his beautiful princess wife. We got to do that now. There might be other places on the stage and all that, but I want to be between Harry and Meghan. You know what I'm saying? Forget what y'all talking about. I want to be in between Harry and Meghan. You dig? So move over and let me get in between. No matter how awkward it looks, I need to be right there between them. Oh, it might look strange, but I got a job to do because I have to get home and call Kensington Palace after I leave here. So let's just get this picture. You know what, though? I'm sure No, I'm not going to say that. Let's just continue. Uh, okay. Since qualification, worked on a number of high-profile. Oh, you know what? I had this right here. Let me see. Yeah, I'll leave that up there for your benefit. And I have well, you know what? I'll share that video tomorrow. I'm not going to make the big dig for it tonight, but I have another video. Do you remember when Harry and Nacho um, were at another polo event and Nacho kind of like pushed the back of Harry's knee and Harry kind of dipped a bit? And there was another photo op just before that where she was very persistent about having her photo op with Harry. And I do believe I have that video, but I'm not going to dig for it right now. I'll share that one tomorrow. And this was the Daily Mail yesterday. At first, they said devastated Harry quits. And then that was followed by Harry charity race row. When they felt more secure about uh, everything, they decided, well, let me see. She black, he white, race row. Yeah, race row. And unfortunately, these are the people that are going to get the worst impact of things. You know, elections have consequences. And because of the occupant of the White House, a lot of money that was supposed to go to HIV and other things has been cut off. So at this time, more than any other, Sentebale is greatly needed. Sentebale needs to expand, it needs to be bigger. But there is going to be a lot of impact on their ability to raise money henceforth, because the public relations side of things is going to need some work. Yep, the public relations side of things is going to need some work. Let me see. Okay. 19 years, celebrating 19 years. Sentebale. Now, I think we're going to change topics in just a second, because you know what? We've been talking about this for an hour and a half, and I am glad to do it. But I mean, I could just talk about this other stuff tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just leave it here. Oh no, I still got Meghan. Yeah, so let's keep going. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go to another topic. Okay. So right here, Prince William shares a laugh with Clarkson's farm star Caleb before a cheeky joke with Vicky Hope at farming event. This man cannot stop talking about eggplants or aubergines, or however you say it. He cannot stop talking about them. So what's Prince William's favorite emoji? Future King shares a laugh with Clarkson's farm star Caleb before a cheeky joke about aubergines at the farming event. This is the future king. This will be the next person crowned, the next head of the Church of England, the supreme governor of a church, the head of the military, the head of the courts, the head of all kind of stuff. And this man is sitting up here joking about the eggplant. He is obsessed with eggplants. He act like he just got out of prison or something. And it wasn't, and by the way, I did not superimpose this eggplant. That is the way the Daily Mail or the BBC, that is the way they ran the article. It wasn't the first time that he made a joke about that. The royal appears to shock radio hosts by joking about the rather rude emoji that is during the hilarious interview picture. Interview, the Prince and the Princess of Wales. So they were asking him, "What is your favorite emoji?" And he said, "Is this a family show?" I would say aubergine, but so and so. When he tries to tell a joke, it is always flat. The same way that Kate does not inspire much with fashion. She could wear the nicest anything, and when she puts it on, the value of it drops significantly. When he tells a joke, I think in safer hands, it would probably be funny. But the way he tells it or what he says is always so ridiculous and childish and just inappropriate. I mean, it's like a teenager. All day, every day, he has eggplants on his mind. All he can think about is eggplants. Something wrong with him. Yeah, and pretty soon his Temu order is going to arrive. He's probably still waiting for this to arrive from China, his Temu order. Yeah, he's probably still waiting for this. I'm wondering if it has any moving parts. You know what I'm saying? It makes me wonder if there's any moving parts. Prince of Bales. Now, I don't know what that means, Prince of Bales. Is it bales of hay or what? I don't know. Will star in Clarkson Farm. George watched out for swearing. Yeah, George, watch out for swearing. Anyway, William wants to be on a reality show. He wants to do something like a reality show because of the incredible popularity of With Love Meghan. He had to rush out and find some kind of way to get on television. The Sun breaks from the wall to wall economic coverage to report that the Prince of Wales will appear on ITV's hit farming program, Clarkson's Farm. The paper reports Prince William will appear on Jeremy Clarkson's show after meeting his co-star, Caleb Cooper, at a mental health event on Wednesday. The Sun says William told Cooper that his son, George, loves the series, but wants him to swear less. I guess he's talking about the other guys. You know, what's really sick about this, you guys, is that things have changed politically in the United States right now. But if a Jeremy Clarkson had said something like, had wrote something like what he wrote about Meghan in these United States, there is no way he would be on television. There's no way he would be on television. Now, the current occupant of the White House is trying to change that. And see, what makes this so dangerous, what makes that so dangerous is that right now in Germany, people are still reacting with disdain against anybody who tries to resurrect the white supremacist, right wing, whatever, from the past, the Nazi past. They come down on it like a ton of bricks. And in some instances, there's certain things that you can say and do that are not just a hate crime, it is just plain against the law, period. They want to change that here in the United States. They want to take away any stigma and any punishment for racist behavior so that in the future, someone with Jeremy Clarkson's mentality could say and do some of the worst things and still have the ability to have a television show, a very popular television show. And the idea that someone who is supposed to be politically neutral, like William, appearing on the show, are they tone deaf? No, not really. It's because, and I hate to say it, but it's okay in the UK. It's okay. It's not that there are people who are not bothered by it. It's not that there are people who clearly would oppose anything like that. Both William being on the show for someone who said and wrote and all that kind of stuff. But it's the numbers are not there. There's not enough people opposed to it. There's not a clear majority of people who are opposed to it. Just like here in the United States, there are actually more people, and there always is more people that are not in line with Trump, but they use fear. They just need to get you across the finish line on election day. And there are people that say, "Oh, well, I really do have problems with, but I just want this such and such and so and so, or I don't want the Democrats to blah blah blah." And so that's how things like that is possible. But this should not be happening. This should not be happening. The future king is obsessed with eggplants. The future king is involving himself with a show that is, in all likelihood, I guess he's the producer, Jeremy Clarkson. I don't know if they're going to interact on the show, and I really don't care, but it's his show. And then as a black person here in the United States, the face of Britain, as far as I'm concerned, is the tabloid media, is the Sky News, is the BBC, is the ITV. It's not a good look. It really is not a good look. Let's see. Kevin Spacey got away with his lawsuit in the UK. He doesn't have a career in the US. You see what I mean? He doesn't have a career. Kelly, what is it? Sharon Osbourne does have a career here, but people still have her on their show in the UK. Oh, you mean, I'm sorry, doesn't have a career here. But yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And just in case there's any confusion, as I said before, we kind of got white people understanding here because there was such a huge movement to create penalties, right? To penalize people that would what do you call it? Go up against someone. Well, there were penalties where civil rights is concerned, right? And it was corporate. It's corporate policy, or at least it was, in a lot of corporations. If you look at the language of their policy, the idea of a racist act or treating someone disrespectful because of their ethnicity or nationality, that was, and in some, I think in most cases it probably still is, that is you could be terminated. You could be terminated. But that is why the DEI and such, they want to get rid of that. They want us to be more like Britain. They want to make sure that being racist is not a career-ending situation. They want to make sure of that. They are doing so many little things to undermine the entire civil rights movement. And there's William. William has chosen a side, and we've known this for a while. William is team right wing. William is team Brexit. William has chosen his side. And by the way, I don't know what William's sexual preference is, but there's a lot of people that are gay that are, as a matter of fact, some of the worst races or racism you will find in the gay community. Some of the worst. And I mean, just as salty, just as nasty and evil as you would find anywhere. The gays with the most clout are white men. It's like a pyramid, and everything works its way down from there. Exactly. Exactly. Which is why it's so ridiculous to compare gay rights and civil rights for African Americans. That's why it is so ridiculous to make that comparison, because there is not really that comparison. As stated, they're white first. So, oh gosh, I can barely see that, but there was a lot of good comments, you guys. And I'm sorry this is so long, but I'm going to go ahead and finish things that I had planned for today. I'm not going to do it tomorrow because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So let's just try to stay on track so I don't take too much longer. Damn, I still cannot see that. Okay, let me see. Who are the tax funded? Oh, wait, that should be second. That should be second. Where's the first one? That shows. Okay, let me do this. Nope. There we go. Oh, God. What was I thinking? All right. So up there, Sussex Soldier says, Shameless is raking in millions from charities and public services. They have a problem with Meghan Sussex, who is not funded by the taxpayers, cashing in using their words money. However, they have no problem with King Charles and Prince William. And so Sussex Soldier has pointed out here with these like Meghan Markle Netflix show wardrobe is selling out fast as she cashes in with shameless shop my online storefront. You know what? I'm not offended by that. I'm glad for it. And I'm glad everybody knows that she's making money. Making money in the US is never offensive. It's never offensive. You can try and try and try. Those people that voted for Donald Trump knows that he has been ripping off small businesses for years. They know that Donald Trump does not pay taxes. They know that Donald Trump is going to profit like crazy for his second term in office, just like he did the first term. They know this, and they voted for him anyway. So if you think that there is some kind of condemnation for the Sussexes earning money, you got the wrong country, boo. Americans never, ever. I mean, look at they have a buffoon firing people at will, invading the privacy of hardworking taxpaying Americans, and there's still not enough people outraged about it for them to stop. Making money is not a sin in the US. If you're not making money, people look at you like, what's wrong? What's something ain't right about him? See what I mean? He's not out here doing a hostile takeover. What's his problem? Okay. So this idea that people are going to turn against Meghan because she's making some money. People said all kind of stuff about Goop. They said all kind of stuff about Goop. Goop is elitist. Goop is this. Goop is that. And you know what? Those people will still buy something from Goop. Just like they're going to shop like crazy with As Ever. They are. So they could forget about that. They could forget about that. They may as well. I mean, you know what? Keep doing it because it's only going to make people spend more money. It's only going to make people spend more money. Got the wrong country. Got the wrong country. There's no reward for being humble in the US. No reward whatsoever. What's the second? Investigation exposes King Charles and Prince William's estate raking in millions from charities and public service. You can't even get people in the UK to scream from the rooftop about Will and his daddy. You would think more people would be outraged with this whole idea of duchies and raking in all this money since feudal times. And what happens? Nothing. Nothing. It's good for clickbait, but it doesn't really change anything. Now, take a look here. Kate Middleton's, you know what? I was supposed to go back there to the first one. Who are the tax-funded raking in with no shame millions from charities and the public services? By the way, Slumlord Willie tenants are still living poorly heated and moldy houses. And there's nobody marching in the street. There's no outrage. And there are people, if they thought they could save money, they'd say, I'd live there. mold and all, and be just as happy? uh, Kate Middleton's best bargain buys revealed, from £15.99 dress to a £2 earrings in the sale. Now, you know why they're doing this, right? Y'all know why this is happening. They doing this to try to make Meghan look bad. They're trying to do this to make Meghan look bad. This is supposed to, in some kind of way, alarm people about Meghan enjoying the fruits of her labor. Right? Now, yes, the economy is getting interesting right now, but people who have money are still spending money. It's like they say, during the Great Depression, there was one thing that women would not give up: lipstick. They would not give up their lipstick. And even though the housing market is really bad, a lot of people have had to move back home to their mamas, right? And guess what? A lot of those people have $800 car notes, $1,000 car notes. Yes, I cannot afford a house, but I'm going to get the best darn car that money can buy. That's how that works. So when people want something, they're going to get it regardless. It's always that trade-off. I cannot have a stainless steel stove, but I'm going to have some Le Creuset. Also, this is a bit off topic, but aren't your hands supposed to go to your sides? Why does she always splay her hands out in front of her like that? Why are we clearly looking at the back of her hands? Most people, it's the pinky to the back and the thumb up to the front. This has nothing to do with anything, but I have always been so curious about that. I have always been so curious about that. I cannot not see it. It's impossible for me to not see it because it's always there. I have always been fascinated by the fact that the back of her hands tend to lead her into the room. I mean, it could be worse. She could show us the inside of her hands, but she always does that. And somebody said, oh, that's because she wants people to look at her ring. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's just like, I don't know if it's a weird tick that she has or something, but she always shows the back of her hands. That's unnatural. Lex says, I want to look like Kate. Bad weave and shoulder pads. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Lex, for the super chat. Oh, okay. Baron, is so she can balance. Uh-huh. All right. Okay, I get what you're saying. Because she has so much weave pulling her back, she needs to put the back of her hands forward to keep her from tipping over. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, or maybe she do that because she's always afraid she's going to trip. Yeah, maybe that's why she does it. I just find that really odd. You know, there are people who have speculated that she is a Stepford wife. Maybe underneath all of that is a robot. Maybe she is a Stepford wife. Oh, look at those bargains. Car boot sale dress, rock bottom basement bargain shoes. And once again, the back of the hands go first. Oh, well. Okay. So the whole point of it was to try to go after Meghan for her fashion choices. Meghan wears the merch she believes will make her a billionaire, including $1,000 dresses, 715 pound, oh, yeah, pound, 1,000 pound dresses, 715 pound bags, 595 pound sandals, despite fashion experts warning it's too expensive for her fans. Uh, is it? Is it too expensive? Experts are warning that it's too expensive for her fans. It's too expensive for her fans. How would you know what her fans can afford? If what Meghan wears is too expensive for her fans, why does everything Meghan wears sell out? Why? If it's too expensive, why are they selling out? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make a lick of sense. If it's too expensive, why does everything sell out? Why? If her fans are so cash strapped, how is it they manage to buy not some things, but everything? Um, let me just share this. Since just for conversation. Oh, do I see? Oh, now there's a lot of people who would love to buy themselves an electric Audi. Most people cannot afford it. But the 2 or 3 fans that William has would definitely love to have it. But guess what? I don't think they can afford it. I don't think they can afford it. Willie can, but they can't. William rode in this car for the Earthshot, but I don't think that's the one he purchased. I think he went on to purchase one. I wonder how many people in Britain would love to take a classic roadster like Charles. Remember when Charles loaned Harry the car so that he could pick up Meghan after the wedding and go to the reception? That was an electric vehicle. It was retrofitted with an electric motor at Charles' request. Charles is rich. Charles paid for it. And that was why he was Prince of Wales. He had a $1 billion duchy. So this attempt to paint Meghan as out of touch, elitist, and such, it backfired in the most epic way. I wish I had stock in Le Creuset. I do. Because I bet you they have never sold as much as they have recently in any given period of time. I bet you they never sold that much stuff. I don't think there's ever been a period in the history of that company where you have one person appear on television with their product, and then all of a sudden they're flooding the shops. They're ordering and filling their spaces with Le Creuset. I bet you that's never happened before. So a lot of people never heard of him. They've seen it and be like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Didn't know what it was. Meghan is putting people to work. Meghan is helping small businesses become bigger. And yes, Meghan now has a shopping list or whatever, so she can make some money too. I'm so happy. I don't know what to do. This is what I've been hoping for a long time. And now we're here. And I say, bravo. We have televangelists in the United States that are billionaires. Televangelists. And I promise you, barely anybody has taken notice. And they're not going to worry about Meghan either. I don't know what it is. Why do they love to count Black women's money? They love to count Black women's money. Black women don't even have to balance their checking account because it's always going to be other people that's going to do it for them. Now, they're going to keep an eye on your money. They just ain't going to pay your bills. If everybody that got into a Black woman's business about her money had to leave $5, okay? If everybody that got into a Black woman's business about her money, if they all had to drop $5 for the, for the sake of it, every Black woman would be a millionaire. I don't know what it is, but they love to count Black women's money. They just got to count her money. Where'd you get that from? How'd you afford it? Do you guys, what's her name? Jennifer Lewis, the Black mother of Hollywood. She was on a cruise. I actually listened to her audiobook. She was on a cruise, and it seemed like every person she encountered, of course, being one of the few Black women in a mostly white space, first class accommodations. Everybody wanted to know, what is it that you do? They just come out, what do you do? And what is it you do? Because she said that they seem to be preoccupied with where her money comes from. They didn't recognize her. And so for that reason, they just had to figure out, how was she able to afford this? Okay, so did Meghan Markle, Danny Loves Pasta says, I had no idea how intense the Meghan hate was until I posted my video. I understand if she's not your cup of tea, but don't understand how upset people get with her. In any event, I'm sorry, but I don't understand how people get so upset with her. But in any event, in my opinion, she did not steal her recipe from Martha Stewart. They shared some similarities, but use lots of different ingredients. As a recipe developer, I'm always coming up with new ideas that build off of classic Italian American ingredients. That's what my new cookbook, Italianish, is all about. Modern twist on classic Italian favorites. You can pre-order. Oh, anyway, he's selling the book. Let me let you hear his words. Okay, come on here, Danny.
Did Meghan Markle steal her recipe from Martha Stewart? I got hundreds of comments from people claiming that Meghan, aka Meghan Sussex, stole her viral one-pot pasta recipe from Martha Stewart, and Martha maybe even weighed in. 2 weeks before Meghan's cooking show aired, Martha Stewart updated her one-pot recipe. It now says the original and the best. Did Martha know something? I mean, she is very powerful, but I'm putting her recipe to the test to see how it compares. Just off the bat, the recipes have some differences. Meghan uses a lot of greens like chard and escarole in her recipe. She also uses lemon. They both use a similar one-pot method. Now look, I write recipes for a living. I don't think you should copy and paste someone else's recipe and claim it's your own, but every recipe is built on other recipes. For example, my new cookbook is called Italianish. It's all about taking classic Italian recipes and transforming them for modern life. I've got sheet pan shrimp scampi, chicken parm calzone, tiramisu brownies, French onion soup risotto. I wrote every single one of these recipes myself. They're all built on a legacy of Italian cooking that obviously I did not invent. Martha Stewart did not invent one-pot pasta, and I don't know if Meghan knew about her recipe, but I think Meghan's recipe is different enough that it is completely her own. It's her recipe. I don't think she needed to credit Martha Stewart for it. And after trying both, I mean, I would never come for Martha Stewart. She's a legend, but I liked what Meghan did to this technique. I like the greens that she used, the lemon. So once again, I'm sticking with the Meghan Markle. I don't think she did anything wrong.
Okay. That was Danny Loves Pasta. He's on Instagram and he favors Meghan's pasta dish. Even the preparation was a little different between Martha Stewart's and Meghan Sussex. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Exactly. There is very, very few people in this world. Let me just put it to you like this. You may get offended by what I'm about to say. I don't care. There is nobody that wakes up, or should I say, there's no one who is born that has an original thought. Everything you think is bits and pieces of what other people experience, what other people have done, what people have done to you, what other people have said. We're all reinventing the wheel all day, every day. You're taking experiences from your childhood, you're taking very primal thoughts, and you're putting it together and you're coming up with something, which is why the social media is so dangerous. Because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but someone that you're close to all of a sudden get hyped up about something that they never discussed before, right? And I'm thinking to myself, those are not his words. Those are not his words. That's somebody else's voice I'm hearing. You know what I mean? That is someone else's voice. And we're all guilty of that to some degree, where we just rehash other people's experiences. So we don't know the exact person who first created pasta. I think most people agree that it comes from China. But, you know, Meghan has a routine that she does with her pasta where she combines certain ingredients. And Martha Stewart has another way she does it. Basically, it's a one dish pasta, but they're not exactly the same. So there you have it. Madison says it's about curating your life. Everybody does it differently. You know what? That is absolutely brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And you know what you're going to get? You know what you're going to get? This. There. Thank you very much. Let's see. There's a song with the lyrics, "It's been said and done. Every beautiful thought has been already sung." Yes, I like that. There you go. There you go. Thank you very much. Now, I have another soundbite for you. This guy looks like what is Clive? What's his name? That singer, not singer, that actor, Clive Owen. Is it Clive Owen? Doesn't he look like Clive Owen? I said, that's Clive Owen. He's a squatty. Looks just like him. Looks just like Clive Owen. Okay.
Watching Meghan Markle's new show.
Oh, okay, this
So
is
my
it.
wife and I have been watching Meghan Markle's new show on Netflix, and in the very first episode, she makes this pasta dish. It's a one-pot pasta that's super simple and also really creamy, but without using any cream. The trick is to cook the spaghetti in the same pan as the tomatoes, and that starchy, salty water will evaporate and turn into this creamy, rich sauce. It's got lots of fresh basil, spinach, tomato, and garlic. It is, in fact, very simple, and honestly, I can't fault it. It was delicious. 10 out of 10, Meghan. That's actually really good. So my wife...
Okay, I hope I don't get dinged for that music. Let's see. The Portuguese and Italians had access to North Africa, and the empire pilfered China. I say, read between the lines. Pasta. All right. Thank you very much, Paula the girl. Pasta. Oh, I got two of them here. The lady on the left side. Now, you know what, guys? This was recommended by a squatty. I didn't listen to the whole thing through and through. See, I think I really should have done this tomorrow, but since we're here and I'm wide awake, you guys, so I do apologize to anybody who's up too late, but we may be here for, probably for about another half hour. Just so you know, probably about another half hour.
Down to what I think is bothering most people. Here's what a publicist thinks of Meghan Markle's new series on Netflix and all of the controversy around what people believe to be a rebrand. I think the bigger challenge that the public and the media are having in accepting is that this Black woman was able to provide her own platform, do things on her own terms, and give everybody a glimpse of who she is in the ways that she wanted to. Yes, she filmed it on a set. She never promised that we'd be coming into her home. And I think it's a little naive of people to think that she would allow strangers into her home to film. Throughout the series, she mentioned that she had to take this home, or when she got on set, or they'd be walking around on set. It was never really hidden. Another theme that was incredibly present was the idea of Black woman joy. In the first or second episode, Meghan says, we're not pursuing perfection, we're pursuing joy. It was almost a mantra to herself to remind herself that this doesn't have to be perfect, it has to bring her joy. And that's the purpose of this entire series. This was for her. We just happened to be let in on a process of somebody finding themselves after going so deep into the darkness and trying to find some light. And maybe there are still some parts of her that don't feel natural and she's still finding herself. I think many women can relate to that. Go through life-changing experiences and you're not meant to be the same person on the other side. To me, a beautiful display of Black woman and Black woman joy. It's the things that fill up Pinterest boards, soft life, and the homemade bread and the family recipes passed down from generations to generations. All of that was present, but I think people were too focused on the idea that there's no way that this person could be this genuine and live this life because of how she looks. And under it all, I do think that there is a pleasant reintroduction to her, not necessarily a rebrand, because there was no issues with her brand before. She's just allowing us more opportunity to get to know who Meghan is. If you haven't watched the series, I highly recommend it. Not only did I learn so much about different recipes and different rituals from her friends that came in, it was just nice seeing Meghan and seeing that side of her. What a publicist thinks, I think this is a great reintroduction, and I think that she's doing an amazing job giving herself permission and finding her way back to herself. And anyone that's gone through a journey of self-discovery can definitely understand that it is not linear. I really want to get down to what I think is bothering most people.
Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes when I try to stop it, my finger does not make contact with the phone, with the thing. Anyway, so that was a lady on the left side. Her name is Ray Christine. She's on TikTok, obviously. If you want to hear more from her, you can go to her TikTok. And then here on the right is Mixed Pivot. I'm going to do Mixed Pivot next.
Who's the royal trendsetter here? Just a small snippet, but I'll share the dates in a moment. This princess does not gatekeep her fashion contacts, and people want to know when she wears something, it sells out. And I love the fact that she still wears J. Crew and Banana Republic. Those who have followed her since Suits and the Tag, you'll remember that she had a collaboration with Reitman's clothing store in Canada. And this was her style before she met Harry. And this was her style when she was a full-time working royal in the UK. And she did a collaboration with SmartWorks, a charity that provides professional clothing for women who are returning to the workforce. And of course, this is her style now that she's back in the US. And I love her style, whether she's, going about her day on her Montecito estate, or shooting an episode of her worldwide top 10 Netflix show with Love Meghan, or going to special events. Oh yeah, the dates of a couple of events. These were both taken in 2022, February and December, September 2022, and the following May. The trendsetter here is Meghan Sussex.
Okay, thank you, Mixed Pivot. The sound for her is kind of low. It usually is, but that's okay. And when she's mentioned those dates, the red outfits is what she mentioned second. The one before that, toward the end, the one before that was the President's Award from the NAACP. And then months later, there's Kate sitting at the piano looking almost identical. That's what she mentioned there. How Meghan Markle is trying to become a billionaire on her own after realizing she would struggle in the royal family and who controls the firm's finances. Insiders have claimed Meghan Markle is craving fame and a jet-set billionaire lifestyle she thought she would marry into. Now, that right there is a big lie. Meghan did not assume that she was marrying into a billionaire jet-set lifestyle. She had been dating Harry long enough to realize that Harry did not have access to the private aircraft. Harry did not have access to the fleet of helicopters. The only time Harry had access to those things is when he was working on behalf of the Queen. And you could merely observe Harry for 6 months to know. I mean, if you were a perfect stranger to the royal family, it wouldn't take you long to realize what the pecking order is. Harry's father became a billionaire because of the Duchy of Cornwall. Harry's grandmother was a billionaire because of the Duchy of Lancaster. But anybody who is not in those positions would not be a billionaire royal. Meghan's not a stupid person. She knew exactly who she married and what she was getting into. What she underestimated was the racism. The racism that caught her off guard. Hell, it caught me off guard. I had no idea that things were that bad. So that is a lie. That is a lie. And one of the things I was trying to convince a friend not long ago is that just because it sounds logical does not make it true. Now, this is one that is very controversial, but I'm going to mention it for the sake of argument. The Democrats get the black people's vote and then they disappear. All politicians will get your vote and disappear. Your congressman, and I'm not speaking about local elections, I'm only going to speak about the federal elections. Your congressman has a 2-year term, and your congressperson has to raise money almost every day for 2 years, plus the job that they have to do as congressman or woman. And so there is actually an office near the Capitol building where everyone, according to a schedule that's in Congress, must go and sit in a property that is not publicly funded and raise money via the telephone. You meet people to raise money. It is necessary to be in Congress. You raise money for the party, you raise money for yourself. You also have to spend time in Washington, D.C. Does that sound like someone who has the time to come and knock on every constituent's door? Yeah, you're more visible at election time. You have to be. So that is a big lie. And people believe it because it sounds logical. Meghan didn't know what she was getting into because she thought that Harry was going to be the next king. I've heard people say that. And when she found out that he wasn't, then she was ready to leave. It sounds logical. And if I didn't know better, I would believe it too. Meghan's a gold digger. It sounds logical. And if I didn't know better, I would believe it too. And that is why it's so easy to tell these lies, is because whether you believe it or not, whether you know better or not, if you were to be completely objective, you would agree it sounds logical, but it's just not the truth. And that is exactly the reason that they have been getting away with so much hostility toward Meghan. Oh, we paid, well, whatever the wedding costs. We paid all that money for their wedding and she left. All you need is for someone in the Royal Rota to sit on television day after day and repeat that. Just like with the Frogmore Cottage. Well, we're paying them. We have a right to know. So they left so that they would not be publicly funded anymore, hoping that they could break the shackles of public funding and move on with their lives. Just remove that from the equation. But that wasn't enough because the lies continue. They all sound very logical, but they're just not true. Yeah. They even said that Charles paid for Meghan's wardrobe, and the palace never corrected any of that. The palace never corrected any of that. There was never any statement or anything to say that Charles was not paying for her wardrobe. They led everybody to believe that her wardrobe was publicly funded. Exactly. And it is well documented. Thanks to the tabloids, it is well documented that Meghan did not want a lavish wedding. Harry did not want a lavish wedding. But being so close in line to the throne, it was expected that they would have this lavish wedding. It had to be a television event. great PR for the royal family. So where that is concerned, they didn't have a choice. Okay. I got some more videos for you. They're very short. This was the sneak peek that I was speaking of. We had a chance to see how the preserve is packaged. Let me get that for you. And there is some copyright music in here, so I won't be able to share that, of course, but I will share as much as I can. You know how you get kind of rest broken and you finally get that really good night's sleep? That's what happened to me yesterday. And when I tell you that I am wide awake, I am so wide awake. It is insane. I had been not sleeping so well. And then I finally got a chance to get that good sleep in. I woke up, I didn't know where I was. And so now I am wide awake. Well, I want to try to make this work. Let me see. I don't know why I always have so much of a problem playing my videos, but I do sometimes. I'm like, what am I doing differently? Nope, that's not it. Okay. I do apologize. This really is bad. Okay. Why does that keep happening? Why? Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me try this. Oh boy. All right, let me try one more time. But I'm having issues with this. Oh, geez. Well, I mean, that should work, but okay. Okay, try this one more time. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, it won't accept it. That's what it is. It won't accept the file, which is strange because I did a screen recording, so it should. Let me try this one. Okay, it's not working. So I will go on to something else. Oh, okay. So this is from Heart Mom, Kelly. Oh gosh, what is her name? Kelly. That's Heart Mom. But look at how that is packaged. I am going to be so proud to give that as a gift. I am going to be so proud to give that as a gift. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yes. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. All right, let me do the next one. Okay, they played New York, New York. And this is from Abigail Spencer. Okay. Okay, you guys, they changed the way I bring up the videos, and I just have to remember this next time. Okay. Okay, and then there's this. That is from Ben's Curvin, Curvin. That is I wonder how they got those early. I guess you have to be friends with Meghan, right? Very cool. All right, one more. Okay, one more. At least I think it's one more. Let me see. Oh, is this from yesterday? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we've seen this already. Okay, we've seen that already. All right, so that was what I wanted to share here. Let me take that away and get back over here. No, not there. Here? Nope, not that. I think we've seen enough of that for now. Okay, where's today's slides? Yes, there we go. And this is what Meghan posted on As Ever Today. By the spoonful. It's a little tease to get us ready for our preserve. And then, of course, Meghan Markle and Gwyneth Paltrow squash beef rumors with surprise video of duo hanging out. I was going to read from the article, but it's a little late. I'll just bypass that. But I love the way they got that ebony and ivory. Wait, how does that go? Spit together with harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? We all know bad people are the same wherever they go. There is good and bad in everyone, but we learn to live and we learn to give each other what we need to survive. So keep it alive. Yes, they're doing a little ebony and ivory. Oh, you're quite welcome. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I neglected to share it, but if you go to the Instagram, Meghan shared something else on her shopping list. Okay. The My Shop or Shop My, she shared something else. So I'm going to tell you what it is. I didn't do any screenshot of it, but okay, what was it exactly? Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day. Okay, so there is my closet, the clothes, beauty, the makeup, and then wedding edit. It's called the wedding edit. Everything that oh gosh, Daniel Martin mentioned is on the wedding edit. So make sure you go check it out. Remember, they were talking about the lipstick, the eyeliner, and all that, the Tachi. Well, she posted another category on her Instagram. So you have to go to the Instagram and then click on Shop My, and you can see it yourself. Okay. Sorry, Beatrice. No one else will dare say it, but you risk turning into Meghan Markle. Well, worse things can happen. I believe Beatrice is getting involved in some type of baby shower stuff. And it was just an excuse to write about Meghan. Don't even bother. Well, look who's looking healthy and tan and loved and well fed. Yes, that is Omid Scobie. Omid Scobie lives in California now. Omid Scobie lives in California. He's another person that was run out of the country because he wrote a book, and he's doing very well for himself. Yeah, he is doing very well for himself. And he's got a G-Wagon. That, of course, is the Mercedes. It looks like a Jeep. Got that kind of boxy look to it. SUV. Yeah, he's riding around in the G-Wagon. He had one in the UK, and I see he has one in sunny California. So cheers. Yes, tanned and moisturized. Thank you, TV. Tan and moisturize. Can you believe he's 43 years old? He and Meghan are the same age. He and Meghan are the same age. Let me put it to you like this. Do you guys know that Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker, was 47 years old when he started the All in the Family? 47 years old. Let that sink in. Yes, he does. He looks happy. Zandy Sussex shared this, and I kind of gave it a little extra. But she shared this image and she wrote, "The monarchist dementors are not the sharpest tools in the shed. They still haven't realized that Meghan can post what she likes when she likes. Boy, are they in for a rude awakening." Yes, they are in for a rude awakening. Meghan is going to be posting every day. The TIG 2.0. She's back. She is back. It has been a full circle. She's gone full circle. What's changed is that she is happily married and she has 2 beautiful children, and she's living in a palatial mansion. That's what's changed. But other than that, still our Meghan. And Glow wants to remind us that the awkward moment when the royal family and their client, royal reporter, forget the mess they've historically done. So Celibici wrote an article. The Sentebale mess wouldn't have happened if Prince Harry was working royal. Well, that article is actually from a article in the Daily Mail, that it wouldn't have happened if they were working royals. It would have happened. It could have happened. It happens all the time. Does anybody remember Cash for Honors? Andrew the Spy? Or what about William Tennant's? What about Cash for Honors? Same thing. Yeah, and then of course, Photogate, and of course, Randy Andy. All those things. There, and this is just a few things. What about Backstairs Billy and Lord Louis Mountbatten, if you really want to get salacious? So, yeah, you can pick and choose from all of the things that family has been involved in. And this is the last thing I'll share with you. I'm not saying go and like take a hammer to your drain pipe. I'm not saying that you should, I don't know, throw a chair through a window. I'm not saying that you should drop an orange down in your toilet. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying I'm not sure what he's about to fix, but mine just broke. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's about to fix, but I promise you mine just broke. Something around here is in need of fixing, and it's high time we fix it. So, and with that, you guys, that's your dessert, your prize for staying with me so long. But I'm going to do my best to come on earlier tomorrow. Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys up so late. I know it works out for some people, and for others it doesn't work out. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, so good night. Thank you. God bless. And make sure you pray for all of the squaddies that are recovering from illness. They have surgeries planned. They may have had an accident or fail or something like that. Make sure you pray for all of them. Pray for everyone's health and well-being. And of course, as Cookies and Cream always says, make sure you keep the Sussexes in your prayer. I really do believe in Harry and Meghan, and I have kind of adopted them as kind of like godchildren. But I'm proud to be on their side. And remember, no bad energy.